So forget everything that I said 48 hours ago. Everything is different. And the reason I'm doing this again is because everything is different. I would say what was I thinking, but I think if I did what's actually happening, I would also say what was I thinking. Two big pieces of news came out today, and I don't know if I'm going to do shorts about them. I definitely should, but I know I'm doing this and hoping to get it out for you, just 48 hours after my last video that did super well. Everyone seemed to like that. Appreciate that. Hopefully you like this one too, because I'm just going to be doing the exact same thing. But it's going to be crazier because I'm going to do what I promised I wouldn't do, and it's going to come true most likely. So today, it's Tuesday when I'm recording this. This will go live Wednesday. So about a day ago from when you're actually seeing this, we got news officially that it looked like Gentlemates were going to be splitting up. This entire board is redone based on how I thought things were going to end up. I've redone the colors so they match a little bit better. But I made the assumption that Gentlemates were going to rebuild around Itachi. Since then, it looks like they're going to rebuild around Seiko, and we're not sure what's going to happen with Itachi. So I'm going to go ahead, move Itachi out of the Gentlemates picture, and Seiko into the Gentlemates picture. Now, we're not exactly sure what it's going to look like with Gentlemates. The decision for Itachi and Juicy is still to come, but they do have two potential replacements lined up in Oski and Radosin. So I'm going to go ahead and move Oski and Radosin through. Let's just assume that both of those end up going. And keep that in mind because I will continue with that train of thought. I think the way I'm going to end the board, Gentlemates is going to look exactly like this. The only thing that I could see potentially changing is this coach, Eversax, because I do think he sticks with Itachi no matter what. That's what he's done historically. They're kind of like that coach-player duo that we could expect to stick. But in terms of the players, I believe this is what we'll see out of Gentlemates straight up. I'm assuming that Itachi and Juicy will go. There is still potential to stay, but I'll explain my reasoning later. The other thing that this move also did quietly was confirm that Oxygen might actually change. The biggest question heading into this week was, are Gentlemates going to actually stick like they've said they want to? And are Oxygen going to stick like they've said they want to? And both were kind of dispelled with this rumor of Oski being a potential replacement for Itachi/Juicy should it come to that. I think at this point of the day, a lot of people were thinking, okay, let's just move Itachi here. Let me just erase his name really quickly. Hold on. So let's just move Itachi here quickly because this is what we thought what was going to happen. And then I still figured Juicy would go to BDS here. And maybe they pick up Nas if he does speak French. I'm still kind of unclear on that. Or they pick up a young rookie. It was mentioned in the comments section that Moxie is available. I don't know how good he's going to be at threes. I know he's good at ones. I know he's tried to be good at threes before and it hasn't worked. Figured I'd throw him up here just to mention that he's out there and is starting to look at threes more seriously. But I'm not sure if he's going to have that talent to just automatically be included in this. I'm going to take Nas out of here. And I'm actually going to take Itachi out of here because at 6 p.m. Eastern today, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, the biggest piece of off-season news for the history of Rocket League esports happened. This is the biggest news report that Achilles or Shift has ever broken, and they broke NRG getting squishy, by the way. So I mean this with complete sincerity. This is the biggest off-season change that the Rocket League esports space has ever seen. Is that Monkeymoon is looking to join Exotic and Zen on Vitality. I don't think I can put into words how over it is for quite literally everyone if this works. I thought Vatira won the offseason up until today. I thought even if it was Seiko here, even if it was Itachi here, I thought Vatira won the offseason again. If this works as intended, it's over. It's just genuinely done. Like you have, my original roster was the World's 2023 MVP, the World's 2024 MVP, and the World's 2022 MVP. That's what I originally had. And then I thought it was going to be, okay, World's 23, World's 24, and then the EU 2024 MVP. And that's still pretty bad. But no, it's the World's 2023 MVP, the world's 2024 MVP, and the literal greatest Rocket League player of all time. It's over if this works. And it's probably going to. Monkeymoon has proven he can win with everyone. Zen has proven he can win. It's over. It's actually over. And so how does everyone respond? I'm keeping Moist the same. First things first, easiest things easy. Moist, I believe, actually could end up like this. Whether or not they're Moist or not, I don't really know. But I believe this is what we'll see Moist be. Will Snasky be the coach? I don't know. Will it be Noah again? I don't really know. I put Snasky here because he was coaching that team last. Gentlemates, I'll stick with this. Let's assume that they end up completely splitting up, and that's that. Carmine Core, all the contracts are signed. Vatira and Drali have been signed through 2026, like I mentioned. Or no, Vatira and Atal have been signed through 2026, like I mentioned. Drali, according to Achilles, signed his contract, I believe, today to be a Carmine Core player for next year. Farah, I'm assuming, stays. We're not sure what BDS's involvement in the scene is going to look like after this, and to be honest, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. If my face of the franchise, the man who has won 2 world championships, a major, EWC, and more regionals than you can count on your 2 hands, is leaving, what is left? What is left? And so I'm going to do my best to answer that question. What is left for BDS? Well, if this Gentlemates roster does end up splitting up and they only actually retain Seiko, if BDS wants to stay in the scene, I think they have to make the biggest swing and try to get the core of Gentlemates, keep Itachi and Juicy together and pick those up. I think that's the only way that BDS actually tries to stay in the scene, unless they go the Gen G route of just going complete budget and like getting some young 3 French players and just praying they can maybe squeeze into a LAN and aren't like a huge contender. But if they do want to be a big contender, you swing for these 2 and hope that you can get them, because they're already thinking about leaving Gentlemates, or Gentlemates is already thinking about ditching them. Cassio's a coach. I don't assume sticks with them because I've said Itachi is going to stick with Eversax, so I will move Eversax here. Who does BDS get as their third? That's the big question, right? It could very well be this Nas guy. I think this would actually work pretty well. It keeps with that Itachi Nas that I was talking about with Gentlemates originally, and then just sticks Juicy on that roster where I originally had Oski. So this is how I think things could break out. Coaches do become a lot more interesting with this move as well. Do Vitality actually stick with Fairy Peak? Now, Fairy Peak, this was his first season actually coaching. He came in to replace Farah, which was always going to be an impossible coaching task because Farah is one of the few coaches that we can actually see the visible impact that he has had on the team. Fairy Peak was never going to live up to that. No offense to Fairy Peak. If he did, it would have been one of the greatest stories in all of esports. I'm assuming that they might try to roll the dice with a different coach. I think Eversax will stick with Itachi. Farah will stick with Carmine Core. But it wouldn't surprise me to see them bring in Cassio, as Cassio did just coach this duo to winning Worlds, including knowing that they were splitting up, still helping coach them win 2 tournaments. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Vitality get Cassio. So where does Fairy Peak go? Wouldn't surprise me to see him on Gentlemates then in a response. Or these 2 switch and we get Cassio coaching Gentlemates while we see Fairy Peak coaching Vitality. I didn't really move any of these other players around, to be honest. These are just some of the free agents that could be available. I think I talked about, what if Radosin ends up staying on this BDS? Like, let's say this happens, maybe a Chronic fits in here and you reunite this duo of Oski and a Chronic with Seiko. I think that could be a really good roster as well. I think this would be also a solid roster if Nas doesn't end up joining this board. But I think for prediction's sake, I'll go ahead, move a Chronic back down here, Radosin over here, Nas here. I think maybe Alpha also fits into BDS, but I think Alpha might just still be screwed. He might still just be riding the contract to Vitality. I don't see a way out for him, and there's been nothing rumored for him to get out. And then, unless we see a miracle, it doesn't matter what combination any of these 3 players make. I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry. Like, you had a Chronic, Tox, and Atomic take the eventual World Champions BDS to a Game 7 in Regional 6, where it was pretty clear that not that much mattered for the top teams. I hate to say that, but if you look at what happened in North America, we know who's going to Worlds, basically, except for OG. Like Gen G's already qualified. Space Station basically qualifies on the last day, but they're just kind of waiting to actually have that qualification happen. And it's like, okay, so Rebellion makes the final, Moist makes a semifinal, and then the same thing kind of happened in Europe where Jobless beat Vitality and Luna Galaxy beat Gentlemates, and then Luna Galaxy went to the finals and almost upset BDS. And so the last regional, when not that much is on the line, is always the wonkiest and always has the weirdest results. That's why Furia actually won some best of sevens in North America. I'm still upset about that. So, yeah, this is the new board. This is kind of just my response to whatever the heck just happened here. But I cannot stress this enough. This is worst case scenario. If this works, and I think it will. This is we thought Vatira, Rise, and Atal was bad. This is lethal. This is over. This is the only solace that I can give for watching this team happen. There's only two things I can give. Is that one, super teams generally tend to fail. I know a lot of people will point to G2 is having a lot of success this year as a super team. Truthfully, starting at the beginning of the season, the super team was Gen G. You took the guy who won North America MVP in 2023 and the guy who was snubbed for North American MVP in 2023, and you put them on the team. That was the super team. There were questions about G2 because Beast Mode and Daniel had just failed to make Worlds and the most recent major, and along with that, Atomic had a bit of a down season. Carmine Corps was the super team last season, and they started out with 3 regional wins, and then what did they do after that? Like, all things considered, what did they do? So the only solace that I can give is that super teams don't always go the way you expect. Normally when you win the offseason, you tend to lose the season. And the second bit of solace is that Monkeymoon has said he doesn't believe in long-term projects. That being said, if there's ever a long-term project to believe in, like Major 1, Major 2 Worlds. Genuinely, it could happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility. They might drop a regional here or there. But if it works, it works. And you are looking quite possibly at the team that has been assembled to take the mantle of Dignitas as the greatest roster ever formed. I don't think I'm over-exaggerating with this. I know we haven't seen them play a single game of Rocket League. But this is it. This is genuinely it. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think any of these guys fit in here anywhere or what you think is going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen with BDS. If this isn't BDS, it still would be another good org getting this combo of 3, or really whoever Gentlemates doesn't end up taking. If BDS actually drop off the map of RLEsports, that is a path in for another organization. But it would be genuinely shocking and kind of sad to watch BDS win 2 world championships, be only one of 2 organizations to ever win 2 world championships of Rocket League, and have to dip right after winning their last one. Because, I mean, like I said, Vatira is Carmine Corps, Zen is Vitality, Monkeymoon is BDS. And I don't blame them if they say, we had a good run, and that's it. And that actually sucks to say, even as someone who isn't a BDS fan at all, by the way. That stings. That stings. I feel for the BDS fans out there who just not only watch their team get picked apart, but just watch them get reassembled on another squad. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. I've rambled on enough. I've had a lot of suggestions to do this for other regions. I'll try to. I think the South American one would be fun. I think a North America one could be fun, but we don't really know how that's going to shape out. So the reason I did this for Europe is because we actually started to see how things were going and it could get a lot more clear of a picture. And I thought I made a pretty clear picture before it all got, completely shot down. So here we are. But yeah, thanks for all the support, and I'll catch you guys next time.